the Senate passes a resolution declaring October 14, 2025, Charlie Kirk's birthday as the National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. So the irony in this is, you know who else's birthday is October 14th? George Floyd. Go figure.
Girl, y'all better grab a seat because this tea is piping hot. Word on the street is the government might be using the whole Charlie Kirk situation to rewrite history and push George Floyd's legacy out of the spotlight. Here's what's got people talking. The U.S. Senate just announced that October 14th will officially be recognized as the National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. But here's the kicker. October 14th also happens to be George Floyd's birthday, a date that's been significant in the Black community as a time to honor his life and the impact his death had on the Black Lives Matter movement. So naturally, the Black community is furious, and they aren't staying quiet. Celebrities like Dame Dash are speaking out, and inside sources even claim Dame believes this whole move has Donald Trump's fingerprints all over it. To give you some context, Charlie's death has dominated headlines, with the feds dropping inconsistent information about who the shooter really is. Just hours after the shooting, the FBI released a picture of a supposed person of interest they claimed was the killer. Not long after, the man's own father turned him in, and authorities identified him as Tyler Robinson. Utah's governor, Spencer Cox, said they even had Discord screenshots of Tyler admitting to the crime, but before that narrative could even take hold, Discord clapped back and denied everything, saying no such messages ever existed on their platform. That only fueled more suspicion about how the authorities were handling the case. Then things got even stranger when Charlie's body was flown back to his hometown on Air Force Two, with Vice President J.D. Vance himself helping carry the casket. A lot of people weren't here for it, not because they disliked Charlie, but because it looked like he was being given an official military-style send-off even though he never held public office and never served in the armed forces. Adding to the spectacle, there's footage of the Dallas Cowboys honoring him before a game. But the backlash really intensified when reports surfaced that several military personnel were suspended simply for posting online that Charlie didn't deserve such a grand farewell. Officials confirmed dozens of social media posts are under review as the military scrambles to meet Secretary Pete Hegseth's demand to punish anyone accused of celebrating the conservative influencer's death. By this point, many felt the government was trying to frame Charlie as a martyr, but plenty weren't buying it. After all, during his life, he stirred up controversy with his views on slavery, abortion, and gun ownership, so opinions on whether he should even be mourned were already divided. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get more intense, the Senate turned up the heat by passing a resolution making October 14th, Charlie's birthday, the official National Day of Remembrance for him. The reactions to this move have been anything but calm. Charlie's supporters were celebrating, calling it the perfect way to honor a man they say embodied American values. But for many others, especially in the Black community, it felt like a slap in the face. Why? Because October 14th is also George Floyd's birthday, a day that's quietly become an important time of reflection for those who honor his life and the movement sparked by his death. That overlap triggered major backlash, with whispers turning into full-on conversations that this wasn't just some random tribute but a calculated attempt to erase George Floyd's legacy. Floyd's death ignited protests worldwide, and his birthday has since carried weight for the Black Lives Matter movement. So for critics, putting Charlie Kirk in that spotlight looks like a deliberate move to dim George Floyd's light by replacing it with someone who mostly appealed to a majority white base. And we all know the saying, whoever controls the narrative controls the future. Sources claim that behind the scenes, plenty of celebrities feel the same way but are too afraid to say it publicly, worried about endorsements, sponsorships, or losing industry support. But one person who apparently isn't afraid is Dame Dash. According to insiders, Dame firmly believes this is a deliberate effort by the white majority to erase George Floyd and the powerful ripple his death created. And unlike others, Dame plans to speak out. If you know his story, you know why. He's already lost almost everything, from bankruptcy to his one-third stake in Rockefeller being seized by New York State. So at this point, he feels like he's got nothing left to lose. Word is, Dame won't just address the attempt to overwrite George Floyd's legacy. He's also going to accuse Donald Trump of being the one driving it. Sources say Dame believes Trump, while publicly showing empathy for George Floyd, has always resented that the riots and unrest happened on his watch. The claim is that Trump hated the way it tarnished his administration and has since been working to bury it, pushing the idea to conservative senators who share that mindset. And honestly, watching history being rewritten in real time is chilling. Fans online were quick to sound off, leaving comments like, "People are losing jobs over criticizing Charlie Kirk, but nobody lost jobs when George Floyd was mocked. And Congress wants to honor Charlie for free speech while the government silences us. Imagine if they put that energy into actually helping Americans." Others wrote, "Charlie Kirk refused to respect George Floyd, so don't expect me to mourn him." And this is exactly how they erase legacies. So what do you think? Is this an intentional attempt to wipe George Floyd from history? Or was the Senate genuinely trying to honor Charlie Kirk? Drop your thoughts in the comments and check out the next video.